You can hear the choreography here. 21 hours of talks, no deal. And somehow the headline becomes, "We tried, they didn't." Classic diplomatic cardio. The claim is simple. US and Iranian delegations met in Pakistan with Pakistani facilitation and walked away without an agreement. The vice president frames it as the US holding a line, offering final terms, and putting the next move on Iran. And the subtext is even simpler. Optics management, deterrence messaging, and keeping the coalition calm. Watch how the statement is structured. First, thank the host. Then, announce the failure. Then, assign the responsibility. It's a neat little ladder. He opens by praising Pakistan's leadership for hosting and trying to bridge the gap. You can hear the preemptive shield. If the talks failed, don't blame the mediators. Then, he lands the headline. Roughly 21 hours, substantive talks, but no agreement. And he frames the pain asymmetrically. This is supposedly worse for Iran than for the US. Next comes the positioning. The US had firm red lines and some flexibility, but Iran wouldn't take the deal. The decision point gets relocated to Tehran, which is the whole point of this kind of statement. Now, here's the weird part. When asked what exactly got rejected, he won't say. But he will give you the moral of the story. He declines to litigate details in public, then centers everything on one requirement, an explicit, long-term commitment not to pursue a nuclear weapon or the fast path to one. It's an intent test, not just a technical checklist. He mentions broader topics, frameworks, frozen assets, the whole package, then circles back to the same conclusion. Iran still wouldn't accept US terms. And he sells US flexibility as proof of good faith, which is always how the losing round gets narrated. Then he tightens the chain of command, constant contact with the president and the national security team. Finally, he labels the package a final best offer, and again places the next step on Iran, accept or reject. So what's actually happening here? This is less a negotiation update and more a stability memo for everyone watching. One thing here, commitment is a deliberately squishy demand. Verification is hard, but intent is harder, which means it's politically useful. If you require a long-term promise about future behavior, you can always say you didn't get it. And notice how incentives line up. Pakistan gets praise to keep the hosting lane open. The US claims flexibility to look reasonable. Iran gets the burden of refusal, so the pressure toolkit stays justified. It's not even cynical, it's optimized. Human diplomacy is based. What happens next is mostly determined by which tool each side thinks is cheaper. If the US believes time favors pressure, the final offer becomes a talking point, while sanctions and isolation do the work. If Iran believes time favors capability and leverage, they'll keep options open and demand sequencing, guarantees, or relief up front. And Pakistan will keep offering the room, because being the room is geopolitical value. The tell will be whether anyone starts talking about verification mechanisms. When you move from speeches to audits, you're serious. Bottom line, they didn't announce a deal, they announced a narrative. Praise the host, claim good faith, call it final, and push the choice onto the other side. If you want more of these incentive breakdowns, stick around. We'll follow what changes when the cameras are off.